Good afternoon, sir. I am extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to address you all on this auspicious occasion. On the behalf of Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology, I offer my greetings to all the participants joining with us. I convey my regards to the resource person, Mr. Velpari Natation, to enlighten us on the topic emotional and stress management. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Hello. Thank you so much, sir,
Yes,
for
thank you.
accepting our invitation and marking your presence here. Mr. Velpari Natation is a founder of Five Fingers Limited, a professional turned into a trainer and coach as he decided to spread happiness. He strongly believes in the better version everyone possesses inside, and he helps to identify, explore, and bring out that best version within people to excel in life. He also held as a COO, Masters in Business Administration, with 20 years of rich experience with MNCs in operation and subject matter expert in insurance domain and process management. He was working with ICICI Bank, HDFC Standard Life Insurance, Max New York Life, Reliance Insurance, Bajaj Allianz, and so on. He is also a member of YES, Business Network International, Rotary Club Salem Allied, JCI Salem, and World Storytelling Institute. Little mother Sadhana VS, daughter of Mr. Velpari Natation, who is the inspiration behind everything. As a part of individual social, Sir and his wife donated all the organs. With a great inspiration, now I'm requesting our guest to partake the session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Okay, so the topic on this session is more correlated to myself. Why? Because now it is exactly 2:30, and after post lunch, I'm asked to give a session on about the stress. But the stress I may be having inside me. Is it so? Let's discuss further. Okay. All right. So I want to keep this session a kind of input, little input, and then more of discussion mode I wanted to have, because I deal with people, I work with many people. Okay. So you can use the chat box, and we call it as energy exchange box. Wherever you have a question, definitely more we open up, more we understand things better. Okay. Right. The topic is all about stress management, all these things. But before getting into the session, I want to give a fact. I want to give a statistics which will enlighten you right now. As per the latest survey by Indian Express, okay, as per the latest survey Indian Express, after we encounter this COVID-19, 74% Indians are suffering from stress. Okay, I repeat, 74% of Indians are suffering. There is an increase of 14% compared to earlier one, 14 to 15%. So everybody undergoes stress, right? And that too after this lockdown, and then we have this online sessions, and then we have to get into these other activities, everything. We have a lot of things to be done. Okay, now I just wanted to, let me share the PPT. One sec. So what is stress according to you? Shall we use the chat box so that it will be interactive, so that I know people are there, to have more interactions? And what are the questions you ask? I'm ready to answer at the end of this session. Okay, what is stress according to you? What comes in your mind when I say the word stress? I need at least 2 responses to proceed forward. Let's see who's responding. I'm curious. Okay, anything beyond capacity? Fantastic. Okay, anything beyond capacity? Thanks to Lydia D. Isaac. And one more response. One more response to understand what comes in your mind when the word stress. Doing work without interest. Oh, okay, anxiousness, something when incomplete, loads of work. Stress is load of work and uncomfortable. Wonderful. Okay. So this uncomfortable zone is an interesting thing which we will discuss. If time permits, we'll be talking about the comfort zone and what is beyond this comfort zone. Okay. Anyway, let us let me share the multiple tasks at a time. Wonderful. Yeah. Yes. Now let us look at this, a stool. So what is stress? Let's have basic understanding of this stress. This stool can hold, let's imagine the stool can hold, 100 kgs, 100 kgs of weight. Okay. So the stool can hold 100 kgs of weight. Suppose if I put 100 kgs, I'm just adding 50 kgs initially and then 75 and then 100. So the maximum capacity of that stool is 100 kgs. So it is holding 100 kgs. Now I am adding another 10 kgs and I am adding 20 kgs. So just I wanted to understand, I wanted to have your response at when we add at what weight the stool may break down. Any guesses? At what weight the stool may break down? So the capacity is 100. So the maximum capacity of that stool is 100. So we are keep on adding at what maybe like 150 or 160, something like that. But before the stool breaks into pieces, let's assume that it is from 100 to 150 we have taken it. So that 50, 100 to 150 when we add 151, so 1 kg more than 150, it breaks down. So between 100 to 150, whatever the stool is undergoing is called stress. Very simple. Before breaking, okay, before the breaking point, from 100 to 150. So what is that? What is stress? All of us know that any type of change within ourselves, okay, or the situation outside us, any type of change within ourselves or outside, which causes changes in our physical state, emotional state, and mental state. That's all. What is state? We call it as different set of emotions or different set of things. Okay, any type of change that causes physical, emotional, or mental strain is stress. Let us not dig deeper. Let us understand, because we are going to work on the solution how to handle this stress. So any stress can be called as a natural response to anything that requires attention or action. Suppose we are just encountering some action or encountering some situation. Okay, the body responds to that. We have stress hormones. Okay, we have stress hormones. Whenever there is an action, cortisol, we call it as cortisol. Whenever an action is required, it secretes in our body. When there is an increase in that, it creates multiple reactions inside our body. So which creates the stress. We call it as stress hormones, right? So anything, as mentioned in the chat box, anything beyond our capacity can be called as a stress, or any type of change that causes physical, emotional, and mental strain is called as a stress. Very simple. Okay, that's it. That's enough. Okay, let's get into. So we understood the basis of stress, and now what causes the stress? I want to hear from you. Okay, you can use the chat box. Now we know what is stress basically. What do you think? What are all the elements which causes stress? What do you think in your life? What causes stress? So
Workload.
Okay, workload. Wonderful. Okay, workload. Fantastic. What else? What else
Peer
we can
pressure.
interact? Sorry?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Okay. The interesting thing is now, just a minute. Is my screen is getting shared or not?
No, so we are not able to see any screen.
Okay,
No,
I'll
sir.
share.
No, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, anyway, we'll see. One minute. Yeah, so peer pressure, all these things. See, there are different various causes for stress, which we will discuss. But basically, we need to understand the stress, how it is created. It is basically from internal, we can call it as external and internal reason. What are all causes? So now let us think, what are all the external factors which may create stress for us? What could be the possible internal factors which could create stress? So external can be peer pressure. Anything else? Peer pressure, or what else? What else?
Some external event which we are going to attend.
Okay, yeah, some event which we are, that's something very interesting. Whether that event is creating excitement or stress.
No, performing well there can cause a
Okay,
lot of excitement. I mean,
wonderful.
stress.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, okay. Anybody else? What a slight insight on external causes and internal causes? Anybody else? Come on. Let me not put a lot of stress, but still, you can interact so that we will understand much deeper about this. External causes and internal causes. Okay. Without further delay, the causes can be segregated into two things. One is external, the other one is internal. Any stress created by external event can be called as external causes, and internal event. Every moment of life, we encounter events. It can be external or internal. So external causes may be major life changes. See, to COVID 2019, some major life changes. The entire life cycle is changed, or the entire lifestyle is changed now. And there are some good things and bad things also. Good things maybe like we are more inclined towards the technology, and we are spending time with family, all these things. Challenges are also there. Okay. And then maybe our workplace, work or school can be another external thing. And then the relationship difficulties in relationship, as you said, peer pressure or family pressure, whatever happening within the family and within the colleagues, all these things can be called as external causes. And then financial problems. Okay, improper financial strategies or improper financial planning may lead to a lot of financial stresses. And then something, being too busy, doing a lot of activities may also cause stress. So when we get into procrastination, that is a different thing. When there is an improper time management. So the improper time management is internal. Okay, but that time management is affected by external events, maybe could be another external event. So there is a slight difference between external and internal. Let us understand. And then, our family can be external, as we discussed. What could be the internal? Our thought process. Okay, poor organizing skills could cause a lot of stress. And most importantly, negative self-talk. Okay, and there is a huge shift in the behavior because of this pandemic, and a lot of research is going on. Okay, and you're going to face a lot of challenges with the students. Of course, you're facing, but still, you'll be coming up with new behavioral challenges. Okay, and then the internal stress could be adaptability, lack of adaptability, or discomfort tolerance. We call it as lack of. Suppose a new thing is happening. So now slowly we are getting into online classes, and then maybe live classes will also stay. When there is inability to accept these things or adapting these new changes, that also leads to a lot of. So these things are internal causes. And then unrealistic expectations. Okay, expectations may be good or bad, but unrealistic expectations. And then the most important thing and interesting thing is perfectionism. Perfectionism is an internal cause of stress, all these things. And then attitude, behavior, all these things connected to the internal causes of stress. Okay, fine. Now, we need to understand, Holmes and Rahe stress scale. There is something called Holmes and Rahe stress scale. They did a complete research and identified common, universal top stressful life events. Can anyone, guess what it could be? Anything? Universal.
Families.
Sorry?
Nuclear families.
Nuclear families. Okay, you're very close. Okay, what else? See, just imagine, let us correlate our life. What could cause, stressful life events? What could be the possible stressful life events in human beings and in my life? Can we think in that perspective? Hello? Anybody else? Maybe you can put it in the chat box, or you can just unmute and speak. Possible, stressful life event. Top 10 stressful life events. All of us may encounter this, but they have categorized based on a lot of research. Okay, let me
Household
read it.
work.
Household work is not at all stress. Yes, of course,
No,
it is definitely a tough.
sometimes.
Yeah, it is a tough job. It is
Yeah.
definitely a tough job, but it doesn't fit in those top 10 life
A
events.
marriage.
Who said marriage? Ruma Agnes. Yes, we got it. That is one of the first one is top 10 stressful life events which stimulate stress in our life is one is death of spouse. Death of a spouse. Okay, as per the research and statistics. Okay, loss of spouse creates a lot of stress in life. And then the second one is divorce. Okay, and the third one is marriage separation after marriage. Divorce is different, maybe marriage separation, and then imprisonment, okay, because of some illegal activities or anything, and death of a close family member. Okay, I repeat, death of a spouse, divorce, marriage separation, imprisonment, death of a close family member, injury or illness. Okay, major injury or major illness, and then marriage, and then loss of job or relocation of job. Okay, all these things, and then failed marriage, and then retirement. So these are the top 10 stressful life events, which is which are universal everywhere. Again, initially we discussed about any type of change that causes physical, emotional, mental strain. It varies from person to person. Maybe for somebody eating second dosa may be stressful. Maybe for someone, making second dosa may be difficult. Okay. So it differs from person to person based on the human capacity. Okay. So now we saw the top 10 stressful life events. Is identifying stress is difficult? That is my next question. Can we identify stress easily or it is difficult? What do you think?
Easily.
It is easy. Very good. So it is very easy. How to identify? That is the biggest challenge. Okay. One is how we can identify. That is a major challenge. But identifying stress, as per neuroscience, it is difficult. Certain times, we may misunderstand the normal pressure into a stress. Okay, we will discuss that. So how to identify? That is the major challenge. Once we identify anything, when we identify, it will be easy for us to handle, right? So how to identify? There are some common signs. Before getting into that, see, there are only two types. There are 3 to 6 types of stresses. Let us understand only 2 basic types. One is acute stress. The another one is chronic stress. So someone said, doing household tasks is a stress. Yes, of course, it is called as acute stress. Acute stress is something which affects almost everyone from time to time. Everybody undergoes. Suppose, searching for a dress, and searching for a pen, or searching for some stationery, or searching for a bag, searching for important paper. All these things may create stress, but it is acute. Okay. It is acute stress is more of, present event, or more of present and near future events. Maybe like running late for work. Once you reach the office or once you reach the college, immediately the stress goes off. So the stress is for a shorter time is called acute stress. And if the stress creates a lifelong stress or a long-term stress in our life, it's called as chronic stress. Okay. The chronic stress is high pressure situation over a longer period of time. When we encounter high pressure situation over a longer period of time, we get into chronic stress. Only the chronic stress create a lot of mental illness and physical illness and emotional illness, anxiety, depression. All these things are created by chronic stress. So let us understand this. Okay. Now, as I said, the stress differs from person to person. What could be the common signs of stress? My next question. Let me put across as questions, and when you respond, let us have it as an interactive session. What could be the common signs? How can you identify that you are under stress? That's what my next question. Hello. What could be the common signs?
When we
Signals.
feel exhausted,
Sorry. Yeah. Feeling exhausted. Very good. Very good.
sometimes anger,
Sometimes
anger,
anger. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Yes. These are all the common signs. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Weight loss or weight gain?
Fantastic. So weight loss or weight gains. Okay. Very good. I'm really excited to hear these responses.
Sleeplessness,
Yes, needlessness, fantastic, and headache, sleepless nights. Okay, and now I'm seeing a lot of responses. I missed it. So internal factors when we don't want to do something that is okay. Frequent headache, all these things. There is something called psychosomatic pain also.
Eating disorder.
Sorry, mood disorder. Oh, eating disorder. Okay, good.
You tend to eat more when you're stressful.
Exactly. And one more thing is stress may lead to a lot of depression. Depression leads to overeating. Okay, that is something interesting. That's why, people who are depressed, they put up weight, obesity increases suddenly. Maybe if any common questions, I'll handle it a lot. See, some common signs or symptoms of stress are like changes in mood. So mood fluctuations. Okay. Maybe like we call it as mood swing or intensive moods. And then, stress can create, sweaty palms also. This is another thing. And then there may be like sweat here and on the temple. All these things are some signs of stress. Usually when people do not speak the truth, or maybe, a lie, or do not speak the truth, their, palms become sweaty, and then here it becomes sweaty, and on the temple also. And then sometimes, the stress is another symptom, maybe like loose motion or diarrhea. So yes, when we get into, we always say something happening inside my stomach, all these things, right? So diarrhea, all these things. And then difficulty sleeping. Okay, sleeping. See, stress can be caused by various reasons, but these are all symptoms. So disturbed sleep or difficult sleep. And sometimes, even after waking up, feeling very tired, all these symptoms of maybe possible symptoms of stress. And then digestive problems. Yes, when we have, indigestion, stress may lead to irresistible bowel syndrome also. Okay, sometimes. And sometimes maybe dizziness, and then feeling, feeling like anxious, all these things. And then, cramps, and then pain here and there in the body, all these things. And when we observe others, you can identify always being tired, or grinding the teeth. All these things are common symptoms. Headaches, low energy level, and especially muscle tension. As I said, muscle tension on the neck and shoulders is one symptom of stress. And then physical pains and racing heartbeat and trembling, all these things are common symptoms. Okay, right. So we need to identify. Let us further go deeper. Okay, we can easily identify stress through physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, psychological symptoms, and behavioral symptoms. As we are dealing with students, and we as a human being, we deal with a lot of human beings, so we cannot avoid that. So when we are able to identify these things within ourselves and with others, we can easily handle any kind of stress. Okay. But please understand, it is not that easy to recognize stress always. Okay. But these symptoms, these signals may help us to understand that. Okay. So physical signs and emotional sign and psychological sign and behavioral sign, which we are going to see now. Okay. So there are some physical signs. So whatever you have seen in common, signs, we are just categorizing into physical, all these things. Okay. Now, give me a second. Let me share. Okay. Anyway. Yes. Let us discuss about physical sign. So physical sign is more of high blood pressure. So blood is pumping faster when we are in stress. And then changes in weight. Okay, we may lose or gain weight. These are all the physical signs. And then, maybe like, as I said, what is that? Pains in the body, pains, headaches, all these things, constipation or diarrhea, okay, and then nausea and dizziness. Sometimes they may have that sense of vomiting, all these things, and then rapid heartbeat and chest pain. Okay, lack of drive, lack of doing things is another, because their lack of energy level, avoids doing things, and then a frequent cold. Okay, frequent cold, needs to be checked, because that may be due to, that is one of the physical symptom of the stress. Okay, and then the second one is emotional symptoms. Okay, the emotional symptoms, when we are under stress, how to identify? So the emotional symptoms will be depressions or general unhappiness. Okay, maybe like feeling dull, feeling very alone, feeling dejected, all these things, depression or general not happy with things, maybe emotional symptoms. And then anxiety and getting agitated for even smaller things, getting irritated for even smaller things is one of the emotional symptoms. And then loneliness and feeling isolated, and this emotional symptom, this stress may lead to self-pity also. So we need to identify all those things. So once we see emotional, then we will, let us look at the mental symptoms. Okay, psychological signs. Psychological signs, the stress, may lead to memory problems. See, when we lock our house, for example, we are leaving to the workplace. So when we lock, and once we reach that, once we reach the workplace, we may be thinking, oh my God, what happened? Did I lock my house or not? If you look deeper, during that locking, we may be thinking a lot of other things. I need to catch the bus, or whether the traffic will be there, will I be reaching, will the meeting start? This stress leads to, forgetting little things. So memory problems are another psychological signs. And then inability to concentrate, unable to concentrate certain things, a mind will be racing here and there, a lot of thought process will be there. Okay. And then poor judgmental skill is another psychological sign. People are under severe stress. Okay. And then, constant worrying is another sign, because all these things are related to the thinking patterns. Okay, thinking negative, thinking, something ill about the situation, all these things are psychological symptoms. And the next one is behavioral symptom. Behavior is, see how a behavior is created. Basically, there are two things which plays a major role in anybody's behavior. One is belief system. The another one is value system. Belief system and value system, that creates the attitude towards any event. Okay, that creates attitude of a person. The attitude leads to the behavior. How we behave in a certain situation because of the attitude. How I look at the situation. Okay, how I look at the situation based on my belief system and my value system. So behavioral symptoms may be like, eating less or eating more, sleeping too much or sleeping too little, and being separated, withdrawing from others, whenever there is something happening, not participating, let me be alone, and all these things. Procrastination is another behavioral symptom of stress. And then neglecting not taking up responsibilities, and more of this behavioral signs, more of smoking, drinking, drugs, all these things may be another symptom. And then nervous habits like nail biting and pacing and speaking very, very fast, all these things are behavioral signs. Okay, now these are all the symptoms where we can identify. Basically, we can identify whether we are under stress. So we can identify through physical symptoms, we can identify through emotional symptoms, we can identify through psychological or mental symptoms, and we can identify through behavioral symptoms. Okay, how we can handle this, how we can help others? Yes, being in teaching profession and administrative position, yes, we need to help others by handling, by understanding this and help. Before helping others, we need to help ourselves. So that is very, very important, because now the lifestyle is changing, life pattern is changing. So the coping is very, very important. So stress coping is another thing where We have to cope. We cannot eliminate stress in our life for sure. So how we are going to manage? We cannot control the stress. We have to manage the stress. How we can manage? Any suggestions? How you are managing your stress, your day-to-day stress? Of course, yes. So a lot of changes are happening. How we are managing? Can I hear from somebody? Any suggestions?
Meditation.
Fantastic. Meditations. Very good. Very good. What else? Any possible suggestions? So now we understand. Now we understood stress and possible symptoms. Let us look at the solution. How we can handle this. I need at least 20-30 suggestions from the best practices of yourself.
Exercising.
Okay, exercising. Okay, I could see responses like time management also. Yes, ulcer is another reason. Time management, focusing on children. Okay, will it be stressful for children? We need to think that also. Too much of focus may cause stress for them also. Spending time with, yes, spending time with children or person whom we like, walking. Okay, I'm getting 3-4 responses. Whatever you practice in your life. Yes, fitness and exercises, fantastic. What else? We have close to 60 people. I need at least 10 to 20 ideas from you. See, that is where we learn, we cross-learn from others, right? What
Doing things of interest.
Okay, doing things of interest, fantastic. Okay, so time management, focusing on spending time with children, exercises, walking, and leaving some work that is not very important. Okay, good. That's a different perspective. Watching comedy show, music, what else? These are all very basic things, which everybody. Is there anything, something unique you're doing in your life? I'm curious. I wanted to learn that. Anything unique you feel, topmost, stress, this thing. Yes, Sukesha Sharma, you can unmute and speak. Anything else? Whatever you feel like, some crazy ideas or some innovative, unique ideas, I just wanted to listen from you.
Mandala painting or coloring.
Fantastic, fantastic. Mandala painting, deviating ourselves by doing any other work. Okay, home organization, fantastic. Focus on our hobbies, beautiful. Okay, nice. But my question is, how effectively you are able to implement this? How effectively you are able to execute this? Is it possible? Is it possible to have consistent effort, or anything is disturbing there? Anything is stopping there?
We're not able to be consistent in whatever we want to do.
Okay.
We start with, say, even when I said meditation, we started on one fine day, go ahead with that probably for 2-3 days. And then we get lost again in our thoughts of
Exactly. That is where the real challenge comes. Okay. Yes, we start off very well, but the consistency. Why? Because we have other priorities also, right? So equally other priorities also crops up, and so how this can be beaten? Okay, so the consistency is another challenge. We start off very well. See, after this session, I'm going to share almost 30 tips, 30 tips to handle, the stress, to manage stress. But when it comes to implementation, it happens for a few days and slowly it gets. So that's where the habit comes to the major place. We have to cultivate habit. Okay. Just go back after this session, just take a piece of paper and write what are all the activities you are doing every day, right from the morning till night. Okay. For example, morning, I wake up at 6 to 6:15, I was brushing. We call it as timestamp. Okay. And 6:15 to 6:30, I had a coffee. And 6:45 to 7:30 walking. Whatever the activities you are doing on day-to-day life, just make a note of it. Make a list of it. You have to do it for 3 days. Okay, this is called as a timestamp. We use it in our life coaching sessions. Very, very effective tip. Even a smaller things, whichever takes more than 15 minutes, you have to make a note. I spoke to my friend for 15 minutes. Okay, whatever the activity, I'm not talking about the standard template or whatever you're doing every day. What exactly you're doing every day for 3 days, you have to record it. Make a list of it and look at it. look at the pattern, what you're doing. In that, you have to identify, you have to make only 3 things. Okay. Once you create the list of activities which you do for 3 days, just put plus, you have to use only plus, minus, equal to sign. Equal to is the sign for the activities which is a routine, which doesn't affect anything. For example, brushing, bathing, eating, sleeping, all these things are equal to, like routine. Okay, neutral activities. And then you have to identify with plus signs what are all the activities you do on day-to-day life which increases your productivity or which helps you to move forward. Those things are plus. For example, I read book every day for 15 minutes. That can be, according to you, that could be a positive thing. Okay, by reading book, that can increase knowledge. Or I plan my my syllabus every day between 10:15 to 10:30, for example. Okay, so that is again plus. So where plus means wherever that helps you to move forward, and the other one is minus. Minus means the activities which is not really helping you to to increase the productivity, or it is like time waster or something like that. Okay, watching TV for 15 minutes for you, it could be it can be a positive thing, but watching TV for 4 hours may be a minus one. Once you do that, just total plus, minus, and equal to. Just identify how many minus total hours, how much minus is there, and how much plus is there, how much equal is there. Once we look at it, you will understand what is your life pattern is, everyday pattern. We can use this as a guide or a compass, and we can create a lot of other activities based on this. So we can plan. So time management, effective time management is one of the best tool to tackle any kind of stress. We have to spend time for ourselves. That is very, very important. Okay, right. Is stress is bad? Is stress is bad? I just wanted to hear from you. Is stress is bad? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. See, we have to understand. So, okay, let me put it across in this way. Suppose Sukesha Sharma is getting ready for a major event. Okay, major event which like one award ceremony or something like that. And award is given to you. You are one of the awardee. Now tell me whether that thing will be there is a stress. There is definitely a stress. We have to dress up. We have to be on time. We have to receive, and there may be some pep talk about you. All these things are stressful. We have to understand. The types of stress. Already we saw acute and chronic. But now there are 3 types of stress in our day-to-day life. One is distress, the stress which is creating negative impact on our life, or which is, according to me, negative, which pulls me down, is called distress. Okay, this is number 1. So we can call it as a negative stress. Okay, there is another thing which is called as new stress. That is neutral stress. It doesn't create any kind of negative or positive impact on me. Suppose I'm listening to a news, something happening in far away from my place, that doesn't impact me. And sometimes waiting for a bus, and maybe we may be under stress whether the bus is gone or something like that. But the moment the bus comes, immediately the stress disappears. These things are neutral stress. There is one more thing which is called as eustress. Eustress. Eustress is nothing but positive stress. So as I mentioned earlier, getting ready to award function, attending an interview, attending a performance appraisal, all these things are stress. But these things provide this falls under positive stress, because that is towards growth in our life. Okay, we need to understand this. Okay, so these things we call it a stress or something like that. Eustress, it motivates. Suppose you are running a race, where the prize money is there. So the prize money, the running creates stress, but it motivates and it increases our energy. And usually the eustress is short term. It is short term. Okay, and excitement is pumped up because of this eustress. Okay, now this distress is something which we need to work on, because this negative stress it definitely creates, anxiety and definitely affects our body. Okay. As per psychoneuroimmunology, our body is affected very badly by the stress. Okay. There is something called endorphin. When the endorphin level secretes lesser, we get disturbed sleep, low energy, and impulsive behavior. All these things are happening. So this distress, something like, which affects like, which puts us in a negative mind. Okay. It can lead to mental and physical problem also. Okay. Some personal distress, as we categorized, some personal distress can be, loss of a spouse and then unemployment and then losing contact with loved ones. All these things may be, other, right. Now, understanding this distress, new stress, and de-stress, now let us look at the next one, how to handle all these things. I want instant relief. I am undergoing stress now. Can I have instant relief? I want to have instant relief from that stress. How I can do that? There are some tips which I'm going to share now. The number one is a short vacation in the mind. What is short vacation in the mind? Wherever you just close your eyes, start daydreaming. Simple. The daydreaming, we can put it in this way, like you can visit to a pleasant place inside your mind, or the pleasant place which you visited already in your life. Okay, recalling certain nice environment. Okay, recalling certain nice happenings in your life. That helps instant relief. Actually, what is happening? See, our brain works in two modes. One is fight or flight. Okay. It reacts and responds. What happens whenever there is something happening in our life? Okay, our brain works like whether I have to fight for it or flight for it. That's all. This is the basic coping mechanism. That's why we are getting into stress. Whether I have to face it or whether I have to avoid it. That's all. So this short vacation in the mind, okay, that helps us to beat the stress immediately. So what we need to do is just close your eyes, recall some pleasant event, whatever happens. You can do it regularly also, but whenever there is a pleasure, just close your eyes. A pressure, just close your eyes. Recall some pleasure moment. Okay, pleasure moment, whatever happened in your life. Okay, and then the next powerful technique is PMR, progressive muscle relaxation therapy. PMR, very very simple. Wherever you are. You have to just compress your muscles and retract it. That's all. You can start from your foot. You have to compress your toes and toe fingers. Compress, hold it for 5 seconds and release it. Immediately, you will feel instant relief. Similarly, you have to do for all the part of the body. Like, from the toe, ankle, and then calf muscles, knees, thighs, every individual portion of your body, you have to compress and then release. You will see magic within yourself. That is PMR, progressive muscle relaxation therapy. Even you go to for chronic stress and all, we go to when they go to the therapist, this is one of the technique we do that. From the bottom to top, every part of the body you have to compress for 5 seconds and then relax. Wait for 5 seconds and then move to the next thing. Compress and release. Even you can do like now, even while attending the session also, you can just compress your hands and release it. You will feel a kind of relaxation in that portion. When we relax our body, mind also gets relaxed. And the third quick tip is, immediately moving away from that situation. That is taking a small walk. Okay, taking a small walk, maybe like, 30 feet or something like this. Just move around. When we shift your body from that situation, immediately our mind also shifts. Okay, that's what we do inside the mind by short vacation in the mind. The second one is PMR, progressive muscle relaxation therapy, and the third one is taking a small walk. Whenever we encounter a stressful event or something like that, taking a small walk immediately shift our mind. These are very instant relief mechanisms. And the fourth one is now it is picking up like anything, aromatherapy. Getting into a nice, aroma immediately shift. Why? Because smell is the only, smell is the only sense which is directly connected to the brain. Other senses, it goes to the prefrontal and then it goes to the thinking process and then reaches the brain. But only the smell, it reaches immediately, it directly connects to the brain. So immediately we get, that's why, whether it is a good smell or bad smell, immediately we are reacting. So taking a nice smell, having a nice smell, definitely helps. Aromatherapy is another thing. And the fifth important tip is always carrying 5 color pens or sketches. Whenever you're under a stressful event, start writing. Whatever comes in your mind, just start writing it. But in 5 different colors. Okay, minimum 3, maximum 5. 3 different colors. Just write. Suppose you're attending a meeting which is very stressful, or you have to give a presentation. So while preparing also, you may get into a lot of stress. We call it as pre-preparation stress. During that time, what you can do is start writing whatever comes in your mind in 3 or 5 color pen. Immediately you can, get relief from that. Okay, these are all the 5 quick relief. But when we look at the long-term relief, long-term remedy for our life, we have to, really work on. See, these are all the instant relief. Now let us discuss about the long-term relief. For long-term relief, we have to have a lot of commitment. We have to practice in our life. Those things are very, very important. Okay. We have to understand there is something called power of 3. Power of 3 is something like psychological rule, which helps. When we do 3 things at a life, it creates lot of result, and it gives a lot of focus towards focusing 3 things. That's all. When it comes to stress, lifelong, I wanted to handle, I wanted to have a stress-free life. I repeat, I want to have a stress-free life lifelong. Means we have to focus on 3 important areas. One is physical, the second one is emotional, and the third one is mental or psychological, whatever it is. Mental, we'll call it as mental. We have to keep working towards. I'm very happy to, observe many people mentioned about exercise and fitness. I'm telling you, my dear friends, unless otherwise you focus on your health, nothing can happen. Nothing can work out. Okay. How to overcome mental stress due to health issues when unable to find? Yes, we will. I'll definitely discuss about that. Okay. See, one is to handle the stress. We have to strengthen our body. We have to strengthen our physical. Okay, the physical fitness is very, 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 very important. Okay, how to have physical fitness? We have to understand 2 things here. One is physical, the other one is physiological. Whatever we see through our naked eye, we can call it as physical. Whatever we could not see, we can take it as a physiological. Many of us are working for physical fitness. What about physiological fitness? What is the fitness you're working towards? Your liver, your your esophagus, all these things. Just have it. Okay, just give a thought about it. The first and foremost tip for physical thing is, tracking your steps. Okay, we have to walk. Okay. How many steps? So if you can gift yourself, you can gift yourself a smartwatch, or even mobiles have started tracking. You have to have a goal towards your steps. So have from today onwards, just have a firm, take a firm decision that I will walk at least 300 steps a day. To start with 300 steps. 300 steps is nothing. By doing, moving away inside the house itself will come to 500 to 600. But apart from that, I will do at least 300 steps a day. Okay, you can walk. So have a steps goal every day. Why we need to have a step goal? So that, we can identify how much I am doing, how much I am putting consistent effort. And you can mark you can paste a piece of which all these things we applied with different people and the result came. You can just write 3,344, 3,344 or 344, whatever it is. And if you have a group, if you have a friends group or family group, start sharing it. Very important. Someone asked how to maintain consistency. The best way to maintain consistency is announcing to people. Very simple. Okay, we have to announce it. So every day I'm just having this. Okay. So have some 3,000 steps. To start with, you can have 300, but the recommendation is 3,000 steps a day. when you have 3,000, always minus 500 in that, because household chores will always reduce 500. So keep 3,500 steps a day. What happens? Our physical fitness will be working out. And second one is de-stressing. Okay, so just a relaxation technique. Yes, of course, a breathing exercise. Breathing exercise definitely helps our physical also. Breathing exercise, yoga, all these things, it works well for physical, emotional and mental. All three is covered. De-stressing activity. So spending time with nature. Gardening is another physical and de-stressing activity. That is something very, very easiest way of that is one easiest way of doing the de-stressing. Okay. And then looking at the nature. Okay, walking in the nature. And connecting to the earth, walking barefoot walking is another way we can do de-stressing. And then the third one is, one second, I'm not able to mute. Okay. And the third tip is, how many of you have a meal poster? Okay, most of you must be having goal poster. How many of you have meal poster? Spend some time in creating meal poster. One second. Yeah. So my question is, my dear friends, all of us may be having goal poster in a life. My recommendation, just test once. Okay, just spend some time and just create a meal poster. What do you want to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner for next 1 week? Just create a timetable and make it as a beautiful poster. I'm telling you, a lot of things will happen. Okay, what happens when you create a meal poster? What possibly will happen? Any idea? When you create a meal poster, when you create your food chart, what will happen? Hello.
We might avoid junk eating and plan our meal better.
Okay, fantastic.
And forced to stick to that meal chart.
Okay, fantastic. The simple thing is, see, when we create the meal chart, the awareness level increases. The awareness level definitely, one second. Yeah, the awareness level definitely increases. So when I create a meal, it worked well. I immediately managed to shred 6 kgs in 2 months time without anything, only with the diet. When I created the meal poster, what happens? Oh, I'm eating this. So breakfast, I'm having a breakfast, heavy breakfast. Let me handle that in the lunch. What I'm going to have. So it creates a lot of awareness, and naturally it helps towards our physical fitness. Okay, that is another one. And the next one is, we will have a positive thought that yes, exactly. And if you're really interested, create one meal poster for you. Create one meal poster for each of your family members. Create a master meal poster. One way this itself is helping us to divert ourselves and do something interesting in our life. Yes, sir. So meal poster should be attractive. And once you create, only 4 meal poster you require in your life. Weekly 1 meal poster, enough. And you can keep changing. Okay, this week I'm going with this. You can create a theme also. Okay, continental theme, South Indian theme, Chinese theme. Cooking also becomes interesting. When the meal poster is there, whoever cooks, it is easy for them, to think what needs to be done tomorrow. So naturally, the stress goes down for the person who cooks and for the person who eats also. And the thing is, the physical fitness awareness level comes in. And then always focus on healthy weight. Be conscious, be aware of your healthy weight. Okay, when we are conscious, if possible, you can check your weight every day. That's okay. That itself creates a lot of impact. What happens? I check my weight after a month or after 3 months of intensive eating. Suddenly it may create a huge shock. Oh my god, I put up 4 kgs, 5 kgs. But everyday weighing always helps. Everyday weighing, it keeps us aware. It gives a lot of happiness also. Yes. And the next one is, I'll share all these slides very shortly. Make movement compulsory. Whatever happens in our life, we have to make our movement compulsory. For example, I can keep my remote somewhere far off from the sofa. Whenever I want to change a channel, I can get up, move away for 5 feet, and then change and come back. Maybe my meal, the food can be prepared and kept it in the kitchen. I can eat in the dining or in the hall. I have to go fetch the food, serve myself, and come back. All these things, making movement compulsory adds a lot of value in our physical fitness. And if you want, one-stop solution for everything, dance for a song every day. If you can dance for a song, that creates, that really helps in physical, emotional, mental fitness also. But easiest way, why? Because when we dance, we enjoy doing that. When we do physical exercise, that time, that pain may also, there is something called limbic system in our brain. Always it looks at the pleasure only. The limbic system, hey, you're doing a lot of weights. Will it hurt? Why you're doing all these things? So it keeps asking. That's why, we stop doing that. So dancing for a song, there are a lot of nice channels available in YouTube. One of which is Bolly X is very good. You can dance for 2 songs. Any event, when you're going to the college or getting into class, just dance at home and go. The day itself will be very, very awesome. And naturally, it helps us, our physical fitness also. And the next one is hydrating, drinking water. Now the lifestyle is slowly changing because more of sedentary life. We are sitting in front of, computer and mobile for a longer time. The intake of water is becoming lesser and lesser. So taking water, drinking water is very, very important because it keeps our joints, better, and it helps our heart also function better because, of course, we are 70% water content people, right? So hydrating is very, very important. So maybe like you can have 1 hour once alarm in your mobile. And every 1 hour you can drink 1 tumbler of water or 2 tumbler of. So once it becomes a practice, when hydrating helps us, and it more oxygen is also pumped to the brain, okay, which works as an anti-stress mechanism. And the most important thing is those stresses. Another one is facial muscle stimulation. This is very, very important. So there are different emojis in your mobile. Okay, you can do different emojis. When you stimulate your facial muscles, face becomes clearer. We will always look younger. Number one, and that itself works as works towards our physical. Our face is the index of the mind. So we have to work on our facial muscle stimulation. We can do a lot of stimulation, maybe by hand, passive or active. You can do whatever works for you. Yes, emoji. Whatever face, these things. Okay, I'll address all the questions there. And then love sunlight every day. The most important thing is vitamin D is very, very important. Now our lifestyle is changed. So spend at least 10 minutes in sun for some time. So that helps, towards our physical. And then love your body. Always, whenever you're looking at you, when we do all these things, naturally you start loving your body. When you start loving your body, you start loving people around you. Naturally, it works as an anti-stress element. So for physical fitness, you have to track the steps and then do some activities, which, do some gardening or something like that. And you have to create beautiful meal poster and always be aware of your weight, focus on healthy weight and then make movement compulsory. Always it is compulsory to make movement and dance for a song. Okay. And then have a lot of water, plenty of water and facial muscle stimulation and then spending time to, spending time in sunlight, getting vitamin D is very, 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 very essential. And when you do all these things, you will start loving your body. So these are all the tips towards physical fitness because physical, mental and emotional both needs to be, intact so that we can handle any kind of stress. When it comes to emotional fitness, what we can do? Any suggestion to have more emotional fitness? What do you do in your life for emotional? See, emotional fitness is being stable with your emotions at whatever happens. Okay, so what can be done? Any suggestions towards emotional fitness? You have given already, but I'm just categorizing it. Okay, any suggestions from your side for emotional fitness? How to have more emotional strength. Any suggestions in the chat box? Let me see. Socializing with friends. Fantastic. Okay. Meditation. Okay. Good. Thank you. See, the first and easiest, whatever tips I'm sharing, I'm sharing the easiest one. The easiest one is, starting the day with a lot of curiosity, being curious. Oh, tomorrow also you'll be having sessions. So you have to, okay. So what am I going to learn? Something interesting today. So what is that interesting going to happen in my life today? What is that interesting learning I'm going to have? What is that one learning I'm going to have in my life today? Whether it is plus or minus. Okay. What is that, I'm going to do something interesting for others. So when we start the day with curiosity, our brain chemicals functions very well. We can definitely do wonder. The energy will be pumped up like anything, and the productivity will be very, very high. Okay. This is number one, being curious. Number two, most important thing when to have instant emotional fitness or emotional strength is you have to having a body gratitude. Before sleep, every day, before sleep, you have to speak to your body parts. This is one of the most powerful therapy. So close your eyes and, just shift your focus to your foot, for example, your toes or foot, whatever. And you just observe and say thank you. That's all. Thank you very much. And your calf muscles, say thank you. Every part of the body you have to mention and say thanks. When you do the body gratitude, the emotional strength increases. A lot of research findings are there. And then, sometimes we feel, when I cry in front of others, it is very bad. When I have to suppress my anger, I have to suppress my depression. No. Whenever, to have more emotional fitness, you have to acknowledge or you have to, feel your emotions fully. When you feel like crying, if you feel like crying, better go and cry and come back. Okay. When you're very angry, but you're not able to express in some other way and come back. That helps, to have more of emotional freedom also. Our emotion has to be felt fully. When we stop or when we doesn't accept, certain emotions, what happens? It goes settle in our mind. That creates a lot of weakness. That creates a lot of stress. And then the other one is brain drain. Lot of things will be happening in our mind, right? We have to drain it. How to drain it? Just you can talk to yourself. Take a mobile, whatever comes in your mind, just speak out, record it, delete it, and go back. Okay, that itself works as a emotional, drain, and that naturally brings a lot of strength to our emotion. And taking responsibility is another way to increase, to work on emotional fitness. Certain times, we human beings, we doesn't take responsibility fully. When we take, yes, this is mine, I have to take care of this. Yes, this is my body, I have to take care of its fitness. Yes, this is my belongings, I have to treat it properly. So taking responsibility helps us to have more emotional fitness. And then the most important thing is always think of the choices we have in front of us. Suppose I have a very, very important meeting tomorrow, but I'm making a choice of going for a movie or watching a movie today. And tomorrow I'll be regretting it. So that regret may become a guilt. That guilt may lead to some other, stress or something. So whatever choices I have, being very clear about the choices I have, being aware of the choices helps to have, emotional fitness. So when it comes to emotional fitness, we need to work on, we have to start the day with a lot of curiosity, being curious, body gratitude, and then, acknowledging the emotions and feeling the emotions completely helps us. And then brain drain, whatever comes in your mind, you can just speak. Even you may be angry with yourself or others. Just speak about others or yourself and then delete. Most important thing is delete that audio. Okay, that is common sense. Okay, and then taking responsibility of myself and the things around me, and then finally, thinking of the choices. What are the choices we have? Okay. And then when it comes to mental fitness, yes, of course, whatever you mentioned, meditation, yes, breathing. When we work on breathing, breathing always helps to shift any kind of mood, shift any kind of stress. Breathing exercise, any kind of breathing exercise. You can close your eyes and think of any song. You can close your eyes, you can think of any movie. You can close your eyes, you can think of your, breathe, whatever works for you. Okay. Meditation is very, very simplest activity, but very, very powerful. This is mental. And second one is playing strategy games. What is strategy games? If you're really interested to work on mental fitness, start playing traditional games, whatever in your culture. Every traditional game has got a deeper meaning, has got a deeper learning, has got a deeper strategies inside it that really works towards our mental fitness. Any game for that matters. Okay, snake and ladder, or Ludo, whatever is there, but especially the traditional game of your culture. That is very, very important. And the third important tip is, this is very, very powerful, doing a rewind. What rewinding techniques? Before sleep, you have to rewind the entire day for 10 minutes. Whether you follow any other tips and tricks, just apply this will do magic. You have to rewind right from wake up. Okay, so I woke up, I did this, I went there, I did this, I did this class, I read all these things. So you have to just rewind. When you rewind, your mental ability will be stimulated, and it works as an emotional drain also. A rewinding technique is very, very powerful. And the next one is, stimulating the senses. The best way to work on our thinking process is to work on your sensory organs. Now we do exercise for our physical, now we do exercise for our emotional. What is the exercise you're doing for your eyes, nose, for all your senses? So seeing, hearing, and touching, feeling, touching, and smelling and tasting. What exercise you're giving? You need to really think on. You have to stimulate. When you look at things, look deeply. Spend some time on your terrace or spend time on your balcony of your house. Look at things around you in detail. Okay, that helps to stimulate your visual. When you stimulate your sensory organs, the input process works well. You have a huge mental fitness. And then someone mentioned already, decluttering. Decluttering. When was the last time you declutter your desk, your room, or your place? Okay, think of it. When you declutter, the mind fitness works well. That itself is one of the most powerful stress coping mechanisms. When you remove unwanted things in your desk or in your purse or in your room and in a house, naturally the unwanted thoughts also gets eliminated. Always do a decluttering activities regularly. And to have more mental fitness, learn a new hobby or skill. It can be anything. New hobby can be anything. Okay. So now 1 to 10 you may be knowing in your mother tongue and in English or Hindi. What about other languages? You can learn 1 to 10 or saying thank you, welcome, all these words in different language. There are so many languages. So weekly one language. So all these things, develop your mental ability. And then reading books really helps this thing. And the another tip is, if you are a right-handed, start using your left hand more for next 3 days. Okay. That will work towards that will give a lot of confidence. Initially, it will be very difficult, but when you switch hands, ambidextrous, when you practice that, lot of mental ability will be increased. So in nutshell, you need to focus on 3 things basically. One is your physical wellness, the other one is emotional wellness, the other one is mental wellness. If you are able to focus these three things, we can handle any kind of stress in our life. Now let's imagine a pressure cooker. Imagine a pressure cooker. What are all the parts of a pressure cooker? Can anyone share? What are all the spare parts available, or what are all there in a pressure cooker?
The pressure valve.
Okay, pressure valve. Okay. Nozzle, very good, nozzle, and we have handle, and we have that body of the pressure cooker and the lid. Yes, of course. Maybe gasket will also be there. Fine. Now let us imagine this pressure cooker as our life. Let's take it as a metaphor or analogy. Okay, gasket, thank you very much. This pressure cooker is our life. Now now you wanted to cook a nice biryani. Let's imagine that you want to cook a nice biryani, veg or non-veg, whatever it is. Okay.
We are already hungry.
Oh, already hungry. Okay. Yet to have your lunch?
Yes, sir.
Cheers then. I am also yet to have my lunch.
Thank you.
Let's create the stress of, having that food now. Okay, just imagine a beautiful, tasty biryani. Okay, we have a lot of ingredients, right? Okay, so to cook this in a cooker, in a pressure cooker, we're cooking a nice biryani. What we do? We put all the ingredients in that, rice, water, and masalas, all these things. So I look at all those masalas and, the ingredients as our life experiences. Life experiences cannot be sweet always. It can be sour, it can be, bitter, all these things. So we add a lot of masalas where we add garam masala and where we add, chili powder, all these things. So I look at that as different life experiences. So different masalas, different life experiences. So when it comes to the pressure cookers, okay, now I put everything inside that and I close that. Okay. The gasket, the gasket inside the cooker, I look it as a family value, family. Okay. The family controls certain things, right? And I look at those handles as our personal values and beliefs. Okay, we have to, the handles, so whatever life experiences, we have to handle ourselves in a nice way, right? So those handles. The pressure, the wall, what is that? That weight, cooker weight is there. Now, I look at it as a society. Whenever you wanted to, come up with a lot of excitement, so when the food cooks, the steam has to come out. But what society normally does, no, you be inside. No, you cannot do that. The society keep control. That is society's nature. It keep controlling us, So the gasket is whatever the smaller one is there, no? What is that? Whenever there is a huge pressure, it just blows up. Okay, there is a small valve. So
that's the pressure valve.
That's the pressure valve is our threshold. Sometimes when the stress exceeds inside the cooker, when the steam exceeds beyond limit, it just blows up. Okay, the gasket. So all these things are required, but so I put everything. So the value handle is there, gasket is there, weight is there, safety valve is up, and I put every masalas, everything is there. Will the biryani be ready? Will biryani cook itself? We need fire, right? Of course, we need flame. That fire is the ambition and goals which we set in our life. Okay, I look at it in that way. Now, if you want biryani, okay, if you want biryani in your life, the rice and the ingredient has to undergo a lot of pressure, right? In the cooker or dum biryani, water, it has to undergo a lot of pressure. I look at that pressure as stress. Yes, there is a lot of stress. Okay, once we have that pressure only, it cooks well. We can have a nice biryani. But the stress is also similar to that. How we handle that. Okay, we have to release whenever required, we have to release it, right? Otherwise, it may overburn also. Oh. So we have to release and we have to control. So it should be in our control. Always the stress management should be in our. For that, we have to have physical fitness, mental fitness, and emotional fitness. When we do that, and also any stress can be distress. For me, it can be a eustress for others. When we look at everything, when we look at the life happening in a very, very interesting way and in a very positive way, even distress can be a eustress for all of us. So I definitely wish each one of us get huge amount of stress in our life, and let those stress be eustress only. By looking at everything, convert every distress into eustress, and everything is an experience. How we handle these things in our life, that really matters. Okay. With this, I definitely thank the management for this wonderful opportunity to share, few tips and tricks towards stress management. Now over to any questions. Whatever questions you have, I will. Yeah, Swati Zambre. So how to manage stress due to interpersonal communication? Okay. See, when it comes to interpersonal communication, we have to understand there are two different worlds. One is the world inside me, the world are outside me. When I need to have suppose I want to communicate well to others, first and foremost thing is intrapersonal skill is very, very important. Intrapersonal communication. I have to communicate well within myself to myself with positive things. Okay. So when it comes to interpersonal communication, yes, relationship management, all these things, the belief system plays a major role. You have to believe people around you are also very sweet and you are able to communicate well to them. That is very, very important. Okay. So any questions? If you have any questions, I'll happy to answer. Let me see. Someone asked a very valid question like, how to overcome mental stress due to health issues when unable to find solution, especially when weird thoughts appear? See, the only solution is wherever you start with your physical fitness. When you're physically strong, I promise you will be mentally strong. Okay, physical. So no need to start immediately with 4 kilometers walk, 5 kilometers jog or something. Start with 400 meters. Start with 40 minutes walk or 20 minutes walk or something like that. Physical health is the first and foremost thing which we need to focus. Any other questions? If you have any other questions, I will address.
So this is one question.
Please.
About you said like we have to do some facial exercise, do about body gratitude and things like
Yes.
that for our mental and emotional
Yes.
de-stress. Sometimes when we tend to do these kind of things at home, we being mocked, and there's a community. I mean, there are people around us who
Yes.
really don't understand what we are going through, and when we're into these kinds of activities, the fear of getting mocked and fear of not being accepted. How do we overcome that and still continue doing these things?
Yes. Thank you very much for the wonderful question. Yes. See, when I do something, there is one thing, we always feel shy. Normally, we human beings feel shy. And research says we feel so shy in front of family members only. Okay. When I want to do some exercise or something like that, I feel so shy doing in front of my family members. So I do in a different. Okay. So what happens when somebody is criticizing? What we can do is, what I follow is, I have an inspiration wall. Inspiration wall is something, I kept a small wall. Okay, I kept a fridge door itself as an inspiration wall. Whenever I achieve something, I reward myself with positive words. So what you need to do is, suppose you did something, you have to write post-its. You can invest very good, very small amount of money, but very powerful is post-its. You can buy post-its and write whatever you achieved and put it in that, wherever you want to display it. When you look at it, that gives a lot of conviction and a lot of self-motivation comes. See, I'll tell you one thing. Even when you travel in a flight, the initial instructions they are giving, whenever there is a trouble, oxygen mask will come down. You have to help yourself first. Okay, that is very, very important. So when you see the evidences of results you are achieving, that will drive you. Okay. So you have to tell yourself that I am achieving this. The other way of telling is writing a post-it or having an Excel, like having a track of, how much I am doing all these things. Okay. So people will criticize, that is their nature. But when you listen, you are allowing them to take over your mind. That is what happening. That means you are not mentally strong. Focus more on mental strength. Is it helpful?
Yes, sir, very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there any other question? Last question.
Any other queries?
Okay, so with this stipulated time, because stress management is a vast subject, So I just don't want to get into technical jargons, all these things. Whatever, we apply in day-to-day life during my therapeutic sessions, because during my NLP sessions, I've shared it. Okay. I will share these slides to Kavita ma'am. She will in turn share these tips to you. Okay. The thing is, start with at least one thing. Okay, start with at least one thing in any of the physical fitness thing. Naturally, that will lead to emotional. See, end of the day, we have to see result, and end of the day, we have to achieve something in our life. That is where it keeps us alive. There are differences between breathing and being alive. Okay, I wish everyone, all of us, start being alive than breathing in the coming days. And I thank the management for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you very much for each one of you for asking some questions, giving feedback. All this is really helpful, and looking forward a healthy society, because being in the teaching profession, teachers are like ladders. They are like stronger ladders. Okay. A student can become an engineer. A student can become a doctor. A student can become a politician. But teacher are the only gifted ones to remain teacher as his lifelong. So we are a blessed community, where we help others. To help others, we have to help others. We need to be really a stronger person. We need to be really a role model for others. Okay, so thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Kavita ma'am, and the management. My sincere gratitude to each one of you for this wonderful time. So over to you, Kavita ma'am.
Okay, sir. Brinda?
Yes, ma'am. It seems to be a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all who helped us in making the session a very renouncing success. First of all, I like to give my heartfelt vote of thanks to the distinguished speaker, Mr. Velpari Nateshan, for making an excellent presentation and making this session a very meaningful and interesting, and the tips you gave us to overcome the stress. Once again, I thank you all for a cordial cooperation. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, participants.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
May I leave the session, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, participants. We'll meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, participants. The attendance link will be posted in the chat box.